what I found interesting about becoming comfortable with Scots is that it involved a sort of reverting to a child's brain, the sort of child's brain that picks up language when an infant is first learning to talk, really. You know, I've noticed this a bit when I used to speak French, and when I was in France, in order to keep up with long conversations, you know, the sort of conversations you have at a dinner party, for example, it would involve suspending your adult rational brain and just going with your instincts, because you knew the vocabulary, but once you started to double check it in your brain and think, oh, is that right? Is that what that word means? You'd be left behind. You know, you were 3 sentences behind, and then you were done for. And in a sort of similar way, with Scots, what I discovered, I mean, so much of Scots is onomatopoeic anyway, but also there are links with words I'm familiar with because I grew up in the north of England. And I learnt if I suspended my rational brain and just went with it, I actually could get on much better.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then, of course, obviously you end up, because you're teaching kids these poems, you know, you need to know what every word means, so you're cross-referring to vocabulary and all the rest. So you know, I didn't do it entirely by instinct, you know, it was a combination of study and instinct, you know.
Yeah, maybe instinct and then going back afterwards and looking what
that's
that
right. What exactly is that? But I do think Scots, you know, is a very natural language, you know, because it's so onomatopoeic. It's so, it is so visceral and physical in so many ways, you know. Yeah. I mean, my one regret is obviously I can't speak it, and occasionally at Friends of William Soutar Society events, when we've been short of people to read some of the Scots poems, I've said to Ian McIntosh, our chairman, I'll do one, I'll try one. And he's heard me out on a rehearsal and said, better not. And he's quite right. He says, you sound more Irish to me, he says kindly.
Oh dear.
But I hear it in my head, you know.